So you bought a Brooks saddle. Now what do you do? Well, stay tuned to find out. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel, and thanks for stopping by. Hey, today we are going to be talking about how to get a Brooks saddle ready to ride, because this is not something that you can just slap on a bike and then take off. There is some care because it is leather. And so today I thought we'd go through the process of getting your Brooks saddle ready to ride. I've had this saddle for, about a year. I picked this up at Stacked BMX, so shout out to the guys at Stacked. I was just hearing, right, whether it was in Texas or in, my friends out on different rides and in different areas, everybody raves about these Brooks saddles. And like, if you've watched any of my stuff in the past, you know that my butt needs some comfort. Like, when I'm going on a ride, no matter how long it is, I want my butt to feel comfortable. And I need some sort of a seat that has cushion on it. They're usually not the best looking seats out there. They're not the old school Kashimak seats that we used to rock back in the day. They do have some cushion. But I've been just hearing so many things about this Brooks saddle. All right, so I was out at Dirty Fest last year, and we stopped in to visit Stacked BMX, and I decided to buy one. And so I've had this seat just here in my office for about a year. I've had every intention of kind of getting it worked on, but just never had the chance. And so now that I got the Torker nice and built, and it's my favorite bike, I thought, okay, let's put this on the Torker. Okay, so today we're gonna go through all the steps that you need to kind of get it ready to ride. And yeah, that's kind of like why I have it and why I've held on for it for so long. But anyway, now this is real now. If I'm gonna cut all the clips and take this off, there's no turning back now, right? All right, so we got this out of the way. We'll get rid of that. Yeah, this, if you take a look at it, like this thing, it's a work of art. And just to give you a little bit of information about Brooks, Brooks has been around since the 1800s. They actually first started making saddles for horses, but then they were getting tired of like sitting on wooden seats for bicycles. And so they decided, let's see if we can make something a little bit more soft. So the guys at Brooks also had a soft tushy. And they decided to come up with their Brooks leather saddle. And think about it, like that, it's been in business over 100 and probably 50 years now. Like, that's crazy that they are still pumping out stuff. This is actually the B17. And you can actually even get a little crazy with this too if you wanted to. You can change out the crivets. My friend Tyler in Texas has done this on some Brooks seats. Angie over at Frank's Bikes in Downey has also done this too, in which you have to drill out. You got to actually get a drill and drill out these crivets, but you can change them into different colors, which is kind of cool. So anyway, we're not going to do that today. All we're going to do is we're going to kind of get this going so that we can kind of get this on the Torker. Okay. All right. On the back of this cardboard thing is kind of like this. It's a little envelope, and it has the proofide. So it has a little bit of proofide already in there for you. Okay. And it has some instructions, right? And then it also has this spanner tool. And this, don't lose this, because this is what you're going to use at some point to make adjustments to the front of this to kind of tighten this up. So the cool thing about this seat is that you know, as you ride this thing over time, as it tends to kind of stretch out, you can then use this tool to then tighten this and then kind of stretch it back and make it nice and firm again. So that's kind of cool. Don't lose this tool. You're gonna need this, but we're gonna kind of put this on the side because I don't need it right now. But it does come with a little bit of proofide. I also bought my own thing of proofide, right? You can just pick this up for, I don't know, 10 to 12 bucks. I'll have a link in the description down below where you can kind of check that out. Other things that you're gonna need, I have just a paper towel so that I can wipe my hands on it when we're done. I also have a Ziploc bag because what we're gonna do is once we kind of condition the seat and get it ready, I'm gonna put it in the bag and I'm gonna sit it outside, and I'll tell you a little bit why I'm gonna do that a little bit later. Don't need the box anymore. We'll get rid of that. And then I just have like some sort of a cloth, because once this is done and it's kind of oily or whatever and I want to put it down, I don't want to put it on my table. So I have like a, you know, microfiber cloth that we can do that with. Okay, so what they recommend, and I've watched other videos and other people have done this. I mean, it's a pretty simple process. Basically what you're doing is you're using the proofide, you're coating not only the top of the seat, but also the bottom of the seat. And so you're gonna need to like get the proofide into like all of these cracks. I think what I'm gonna have to do is probably run and go get like a Q-tip, and then I'm gonna use that to kind of get into some of those areas. But let's start. Well, I might as well just use this that was already in here. I do have some of it here, but let's just kind of use this one since I already have some, and let's not have this go to waste. And basically I'm just gonna tear that off, and you can just kind of like squeeze it out. And kind of like, it's almost like a coconut paste. I'm in Hawaii, so of course I'm gonna relate it to something here in Hawaii, but you're just using your finger and you're just spreading this thing all out over the surface of the seat. And yeah, you're gonna get it on the crivets, that's okay. You are gonna get it on some of the other parts of it. You can kind of wipe that off later, but yeah, basically it's just spreading this thing out like that to where, you know, you're just putting a nice coat on the entire seat. And I guess maybe I could have done the bottom first so that when I'm doing this, I don't have to hold it. Didn't think about that until now, but as I'm kind of like going over this, I'm like, I should have done the bottom first. So anyway, I'm gonna also just start putting some stuff here on the bottom just to kind of get rid of this one little packet that I have. But yeah, you can just use your finger. If you don't want to get your fingers dirty, you can get a glove. I probably should have done that. And yeah, if you're wondering like, what is this nasty thing on my finger, it's a blister because I had like a skin thing, you know, treated the other day. And so that is what that gross thing on my finger is, if you're wondering. Yeah, anyway, okay, so we'll put that there. That's why that cloth is there, and has kind of a nice smell, you know. Doesn't smell bad at all. So at least, you know, when you're doing this, you're not gonna get like fumes from, you know, something that's not so good, not something that doesn't smell so good. Now the inside is definitely going to use more than the outside, because you can see, like, you can just kind of like just do this, but yeah, it's pretty oily. This is almost like I said, it's almost like a coconut oil. It kind of has that look to it. Yeah, you're just getting a nice even coat everywhere that this thing has some surface. And the reason for the Ziploc bag is because think I was in Texas and we're kind of talking to some older guys that were riding, and you know the subject of, I think a lot of those guys had Brooks, and so I kind of brought it up with them. And I was like, okay, tell me about these seats. I see a lot of guys kind of riding them. Like, what's so great about it? Blah blah blah, whatever, you know. And so they were just, yeah, they were just kind of just telling me like how good this thing is, that it, you know, over time it just gets really soft, and it's really comfortable. If you're somebody like me who kind of like is sensitive to, you know, kind of wants something that is not so sore on the butt when you're riding, especially, you know, if you're going to be riding for like 12 miles, 20 miles, like you definitely want something that is going to, you know, be softer on your butt. And yeah, that's where this is supposed to come in. So anyway, getting back to like why I need the bag, is that one of the guys said that the way that he breaks in his seat is he would, you know, put all this stuff on it, and then he would take it outside and put it on the dash of his car and just leave it out there for the day or whatever, you know. And so they would just yeah, I guess the heat, you know, will just help to break this thing in. And so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna put it on the dash of my car, but what I am gonna do is just kind of like put this out in the yard. I mean, I am in Hawaii and we do have a lot of sun, and lately it's been pretty good. So I am gonna put this in the bag, and I'm going to try to see if I can just get this out and put out in my yard, and then we'll see what happens. This thing is really greasy, so I probably should have used some gloves, but it's okay. That's what the paper towel, where that paper towel comes in. And definitely having it on this so you can lay the seat down is really helpful. And yeah, I'm glad I used this, because there was quite a bit in there. Like, it's really close to being able to kind of just get this whole seat taken care of. I think you still need a little bit more of this stuff, which is why I ended up buying, you know, another small jar of it. And while that does seem like it could be expensive, I think probably less than 15 bucks. The people that I've watched online that have talked about this have said like you don't need to do this too often, and that it kind of like it lasts for a while. And so my hope is that yeah, that thing is gonna last for a while. One of these other channels that I watched them do it, you know, they had that in their shop. And see, now I'm not gonna be able to open this. Not very smart of me to be able to. All right, let's see what we can do here. Yeah, that was not smart, because now I can't open this thing because all of this stuff is all in my hands. I don't think I need a whole lot more though. It's just I wanted to get a little bit more kind of in these areas here, and definitely some up there. So I do want to open this and use this, but dang it. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. Ha! Sweating in here. Haven't used this for a while too, so don't know why it's discolored, but I'm gonna just kind of like move it around there a little bit. I think it's gonna be fine. At least I hope so. And if it's not, tell me in the comments, but it's kind of too late anyway. But just trying to get some here into these areas. And I don't think I need the Q-tips at all. I think I kind of was able to get in where I needed to get into, so I'm not gonna go get a Q-tip. But I can see how a Q-tip might definitely help, especially kind of in these areas here. But we'll just kind of use this. And my fingers aren't too fat, so it's not too bad. But yeah. So as you can see, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take a long time to kind of get this done. I did want to put some more here. And my guess is, you know, you just be generous with this stuff, right? And you can tell me if I'm putting too much. I don't know, but I'm just giving this a nice little coat in here, just so that the more we can kind of get it in there, I think the better this is going to be. And I want this thing soft. So I don't know if putting more is going to make a difference, but I think I got it pretty good. Okay, outside looks good. Okay, let me see if I can wipe my hands again. And then what I'm gonna do is, I got this bag, and I'm gonna stick this in the bag, and I think it'll fit. And I'm just gonna stick it out in my yard for, I don't know, at least a day. We'll see what happens. Hopefully the bag won't do anything to the saddle itself, but I'm gonna see what happens, and then we'll come back and kind of take a look at it in a couple days. All right, see you then. All right, so we've had some time for the, what is it called? Proofide, whatever that stuff is.
Bake them in the sun time.
So I basically did a full coat, stuck it in a big Ziploc bag,
okay,
left it outside in my backyard.
Cook them a little while.
Let them cook for like 2 days. Brought it back in,
yeah,
and then kind of put another second coat, but I didn't put it back outside. I just left it in my office, and then now kind of wiped it down, and this thing is beautiful.
So it's well conditioned.
I'm hoping. I don't know how many times you have to do that, but
now it's just, you gotta break them in.
Yeah, now it's time to like...
You're breaking your saddle, guy.
Mold the tushy to the seat. So
good luck with that, bro.
So we got the Torker back out. It's nice and clean. And now we're gonna install it and get this on one of my favorite bikes. Stay tuned. Very simple install. We just got one bolt to loosen.
I know. I wish everything was like that. One bolt. Hey, we could build one bike. One bolt.
One bolt. But as you can see, this thing is beautiful.
Yeah.
Put that.
I've been trying to tell you to get Brooke's seat for so long.
I know, and you know, like I bought this over a year ago, because didn't I buy this from?
Yeah,
from Stacked?
Yeah. You did.
So we came home from California with this. It's kind of been just sitting in my office.
You, my friend, actually went shopping on that trip.
Yeah, I actually bought some parts on that
Whereas
trip.
me, I never.
So we are going to get this on. Now this does have, a Brooke seat does have this tool. Well, it comes with a wrench that you can use, but you can tighten this up when the seat, because it's leather.
When the thing stretch.
When it starts to stretch out and it might get a little loose, what you can do is you can kind of tighten it and then tighten it up in here, and it'll actually kind of stretch out the seat a little bit.
This part is the part where we're gonna put them on the ground and you adjust them. But I never moved this part.
I just don't know how the old one was. Did you pay attention?
No. I mean, I never, however, it was here as far as La.
Yeah.
So I just gonna hand tighten them like this, and then you decide whether forward or backwards. As I was looking at this rail, like, what a long this. But
Gives you a lot of adjustment though.
yeah,
You can go pretty far.
it looks like a proper bicycle now.
Why? What was wrong with my Originate seat? I love this seat.
Yeah.
It looks like something else though, like there. Doesn't that look like some balls? This is super comfortable though. I gotta say that seat is really comfortable, but we are definitely gonna try to see.
I kind of move them so this thing kind of aesthetically look level.
But remember now, the bike is tilted.
Yeah.
The bike is more like this, so I think you gotta come down a little bit. That's too high. It looks good based on the frame. Like if you look at it like that, it's straight on the frame, but then the bike is crooked. So
how's that?
You gotta come down some more. Yeah, like that.
That's how it was originally.
I think that's the way it's gotta go.
You know what that looked like from here?
I know, from here it looks like...
It looks like you're ready for wheelie, hoy. Wheelie action.
Maybe I am.
Congratulations, you're a Brooks owner.
Nice.
Your bike now has
Looking
Brooks
real
seat.
good, looking real
This
good,
bike
looking
is
real
really
good.
nice now. I think you should just leave them. Regardless if your tush hurt or no hurt or what.
Well, yeah, it's gonna, we definitely have to just make some adjustments, but I think that's it. All right, so that is the Brooks saddle and getting it on, you know, just getting it conditioned, I guess. Conditioned, installed. Now I gotta ride it and try and break that thing in. And
it's gonna hurt, buddy.
It's gonna
it's gonna hurt.
It's probably gonna hurt a little in the beginning. And yeah, I think maybe what we'll do is a year from now, next May, come back, take a look at what the seat looks like, get some thoughts on how it's been and whether or not I made the right choice or not.
We're gonna totally interview
because that's an
on
expensive seat, but I've heard nothing but good things about Brooks. And
only real men use Brooks seat.
I'm a real boy. All right, well, if you stuck around this long, thank you. Consider liking and subscribing. We'd appreciate you joining our little community here on YouTube and all the socials.
Yeah, thank you
and
very much.
We'll see you in the next one. Until then, hey, take care of one another, be safe, and aloha.